Have you ever had the feeling that something has changed, but you can't quite explain what? Maybe time seems to flow strangely, or certain people and situations simply no longer make sense in your life. What if I told you that you could be living in the fifth dimension without even realizing it? Yes, you read that right. While many still see reality as something fixed and linear, there is a silent transformation happening all around us, and possibly within you. The idea of a higher consciousness may sound mysterious, but the signs are everywhere: intuitive decisions that turn out to be perfect, deep connections with nature, and those impossible coincidences that seem to be organized by the universe. The truth is that living in the fifth dimension is not something reserved for the enlightened few. It is a change accessible to everyone who is ready to see beyond the obvious. But be careful, this new reality challenges everything you thought you knew about the world. It's like discovering you've been looking at the wrong map your whole life. Here, the senses sharpen, priorities change, and a new understanding of energy and frequency guides each step. If you have already noticed some of these changes, you may be closer to this experience than you think. So, how to identify if you are living in the fifth dimension? Get ready for a journey that will reveal the signs hidden in your daily life. But make no mistake, what you will discover could completely change the way you see your life and the universe. The fifth dimension is not just a place, it is a state of being that completely transforms perception. Imagine, for example, watching a movie in high definition after years of watching it in low resolution. It's as if the colors, details, and even sounds take on a new meaning. In this state, intuition begins to guide with an almost magical clarity, connecting directly with a higher consciousness. It's the moment when you realize that what seemed complex before now makes perfect sense. And this feeling does not come out of nowhere, it is the result of a high energetic frequency, which resonates deeply with your inner awakening. Some describe this transformation as tuning into a new radio station. Previously, its frequency only picked up static and noise. Now, the messages are clear and inspiring. In this context, the energetic resonance between you and the world around you intensifies. This is reflected even in daily choices. For example, you may feel an inexplicable desire to meditate in silence or walk barefoot in the grass, strengthening your connection with nature. These simple but powerful practices facilitate this opening to the new level of perception. As your spiritual transformation progresses, you begin to notice something curious. Events that previously seemed like coincidences begin to make sense. This phenomenon, known as synchronicity, is one of the first signs that your energy and frequency are aligned with the fifth dimension. A practical example. Has it ever happened to you when you think about someone and, minutes later, they get in touch? This coincidence is evidence that the universe is operating in harmony with your new vibration. The most fascinating thing is that the deeper you go into this state of consciousness, the more you realize that the transformation is continuous. The journey has no end, but new layers. And it is in this flow, in this very peculiar rhythm, that you begin to understand something fundamental. Self-knowledge is not a point of arrival, but an eternal dance between what you are and what you can be. But before we delve into that, there is one aspect that completely changes how you live your day: your perception of time. When you begin to live in a higher state of consciousness, time transforms in intriguing ways. It stops being this rigid and predictable sequence and becomes something fluid and, often, enigmatic. Entire days can seem like the blink of an eye, while seemingly brief moments stretch on as if they were eternal. This shift reflects the growing importance of being present in the current moment, where genuine experience transcends the hands of a clock. A practical example. Imagine you are in a deeply meaningful conversation. The world around seems to disappear, and the only thing that matters is that moment. This change in the perception of time also challenges the way we plan our lives. In the past, everything seemed to fit into an exact schedule. Now, intuition drives the pace. Have you ever noticed how some commitments lose their relevance while others appear unexpectedly? This phenomenon is closely linked to your spiritual transformation, which teaches you to trust the natural flow of life. It's not about abandoning deadlines, but about living in a way that honors what really matters. A fascinating aspect is how this perception even changes the way we remember the past and visualize the future. Often, old memories come to the surface with an almost surreal clarity, bringing valuable lessons that were hidden. At the same time, the future stops being a constant concern, becoming a blank canvas where intuition helps to outline the next steps. This sense of fluidity is an invitation to reevaluate what it means to live fully, and often, the answers lie in small routine changes, like practicing deep breathing or trying a gratitude journal. And you know what's most curious? This new relationship with time does not just make things easier, but to teach that there is a greater intelligence guiding the cycles of life. The more you accept this perception, the more you align with the rhythm of the universe. And it is in this flow that your relationships begin to reflect your new energetic frequency, creating a direct impact on the people around you. As you tune into the fifth dimension, something unexpected happens. Your relationships begin to change in significant ways. It's as if your energetic frequency attracts people who are aligned with this new vibration and, at the same time, pushes away those who no longer resonate with you. This process can be confusing at first. Old friends can seem distant or even disconnected. But don't worry, it doesn't mean anything is wrong. It's just energetic resonance adjusting the balance. Imagine a radio tuned to a new station. Some songs no longer play, but others, full of meaning, begin to sound loud and clear. This realignment also brings a fascinating phenomenon: spontaneous connections with completely new people. These people don't appear by chance, they arrive with a kind of shared mission. It could be that coworker who suddenly understands your worldview, or a stranger who crosses your path with words that resonate deeply with your inner awakening. When this happens, pay attention to synchronicities. They are clear signs that the universe is conspiring to facilitate this new network of relationships. Furthermore, the concept of quality in relationships begins to gain more weight than quantity. You feel a growing need to connect deeply, valuing meaningful moments over superficial interactions. A good practice to strengthen these connections is to cultivate presence in the current moment during conversations. Try to really listen, without rushing to respond. This can create bonds that transcend words, where the energy and frequency of interactions speak louder than any gesture. Ultimately, this transformation in relationships isn't something you completely control, it's something you allow. And, when you allow it, you discover that intuition begins to guide who should stay in your life and who is following another path. But, before delving further into this aspect, there is something even more powerful that emerges in this process: intuition as a constant guide. Intuition is like a silent but incredibly accurate compass that grows stronger as you connect to the fifth dimension. In this state of consciousness, it stops being just a sixth sense and becomes a practical tool for navigating life. Have you ever noticed how sometimes you know you should say yes to an opportunity even though you don't fully understand why? This is your higher consciousness manifesting itself, guiding your choices in an almost magical way. When you trust this internal guide, you begin to notice that decisions flow more easily, as if you were being guided by the universe itself. But intuition doesn't work like a mystical trick, it needs to be cultivated. A practical way to strengthen this gift is through silence. Meditation, for example, is an essential practice for listening to this inner voice. Try to set aside a few minutes a day to breathe deeply and disconnect from outside noise. Another effective way is to keep an intuitive diary. In it, you can record your ideas or impressions, and revisit them later to see how they aligned with the events that followed. These practices help amplify your connection to the energy and frequency of the world around you. What makes intuition so fascinating is how it operates beyond logic. Has it ever happened that you feel something about a person before you even get to know them well? Or to take a different path and avoid a setback? These small moments are clear examples of how intuition acts as a kind of spiritual radar. She can also guide you through bigger issues, like career changes or relationship decisions. The key is to learn to trust it, even when the rational mind cannot explain why. And the more you follow your intuition, the more it strengthens, creating a virtuous cycle. Over time, it becomes a powerful ally, capable of predicting situations and guiding even the most subtle steps. However, as you adjust to this new level of awareness, your body also begins to react, signaling changes through bodily sensations. When you begin to vibrate at higher frequencies, your physical body reacts in ways that may seem mysterious at first glance. Some people report tingling sensations in their hands, feet, or even the top of their head, as if an energy is moving within them. Others notice an almost floating lightness in moments of deep spiritual alignment. These signs, often subtle, are the body's natural responses to this process of spiritual transformation. It is as if he is adjusting himself to tune in to his higher consciousness. One of the most common adjustments involves an expanded perception of the senses. Sounds, aromas, and even textures gain a different intensity. Imagine listening to a song you've always loved, but this time feeling every note reverberate deeply within you. This is energetic resonance in action. These moments are invitations to observe your body more closely. A simple exercise is to set aside a moment during the day to close your eyes, breathe deeply, and notice where there are sensations in your body. This practice often helps to integrate these changes more harmoniously. In addition to pleasant sensations, the body may also show signs of resistance, such as unexpected tiredness or muscle tension. Don't be alarmed, this is just an indication that you are releasing old energies that no longer serve you. In this case, connecting with nature can be a great ally. Hiking in natural environments, such as forests or beaches, helps balance energy and promotes a state of well-being. If possible, try touching trees or feeling the earth beneath your feet. These small gestures can speed up the adaptation process. These bodily changes are reminders that the physical and spiritual are deeply intertwined. And as your body aligns with this new frequency, you begin to notice how life seems to gain an almost magical rhythm. This becomes even more evident when synchronicities begin to appear with surprising frequency, connecting events in an almost miraculous way. Connection with nature is one of the most striking experiences of the fifth dimension. Suddenly, the sounds of wind through the trees, birdsong, or even the murmur of water seem to have a deeper meaning. It's not just a matter of noticing the natural beauty around you, but of feeling like you are an integral part of it. This feeling brings a unique peace, as if the earth itself were whispering to you ancient secrets about energy and frequency. A good way to explore this is to spend time in natural environments, whether it's a nearby park or a garden. Even simple activities, like watching the sunset, can enhance this feeling of unity. Interestingly, this new connection isn't limited to what you see or hear, it also involves what you feel. For example, walking barefoot on grass or sand can trigger a type of grounding that not only relaxes you but also aligns your body with the vibrational frequency of the planet. Have you ever tried stopping for a moment, closing your eyes and simply listening to the sound of the leaves rustling in the wind? These small gestures intensify your presence in the current moment, allowing you to absorb nature's subtle messages with renewed clarity. What makes this connection so transformative is how it resets your priorities. You begin to realize that the simplicity of life, like the smell of the earth after rain or the warmth of the sun on your skin, is more enriching than many modern distractions. And this is not a disconnection from the technological world, but a call to balance. How about cultivating small practices in your daily life, such as caring for plants or setting aside time each week for a walk outdoors? These habits strengthen spiritual openness and help anchor your energy in something greater than yourself. And the more you align with this natural frequency, the more synchronicities begin to emerge. It's as if the universe is saying, "You're on the right path." These significant coincidences appear to show that there is a greater intelligence operating behind the scenes. But what makes these synchronicities even more fascinating is the sense of magic they bring to life. Life begins to unfold as a series of connected events when you resonate with the fifth dimension. Synchronicities, previously seen as simple coincidences, become a language of the universe, revealing that there is a greater intelligence guiding every detail. Imagine thinking about a person and, minutes later, receiving a message from them. Or even look for answers to a question and, unexpectedly, find a book or video that addresses exactly what you needed. These experiences show that the energy and frequency of your field are aligned with something much greater. This magic does not come about by chance, it is a reflection of the alignment between your internal vibration and the flow of the universe. The more you connect with your higher consciousness, the more these meaningful coincidences appear to reaffirm that you are on the right path. A practical way to notice and record these synchronicities is to keep a diary. Write about moments that felt magical or brought unexpected answers. Over time, you will see patterns emerging, as if the universe is speaking directly to you. But synchronicities are not just gifts of chance, they come to teach and inspire. When a seemingly unlikely event happens, it carries a hidden meaning that is often only understood in retrospect. It's like putting together a puzzle, where each piece reveals something new about your spiritual journey. If you encounter resistance or doubt, remember that every challenge is an opportunity in disguise. Learn to ask, "What is the universe trying to show me with this?" This question opens a direct channel to self-knowledge and a new perspective. And the most interesting thing is that, as you embrace these synchronicities, your life begins to flow more lightly. The feeling that everything is connected grows, bringing a sense of purpose and direction. But this journey doesn't stop here. The next step is to integrate all of these experiences and bring to light a clearer perception of who you really are, a transformation that begins with inner awakening. The journey through the fifth dimension is not just a mystical experience, it's an invitation to transform your life from the inside out. Every synchronicity, every bodily sensation, every intuitive decision is a door that opens to something greater. But here's the big question: what are you going to do with all this? Will you continue living on autopilot, or will you embrace this opportunity for self-knowledge and transformation? Think about it. If the universe is already giving you all the signs, what is left for you to start acting? Maybe it's taking a moment to meditate, reconnecting with nature, or even rethinking your priorities. The magic of the fifth dimension is in practice, in the here and now. Are you ready to take the next step and live in alignment with your higher consciousness? If these reflections have lit something in you, I have a special invitation: don't let that flame go out. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to continue exploring topics such as energy and frequency, intuition, and much more. Let's together unlock the power within you and create a reality full of purpose and meaning. After all, what could be more incredible than living in your best version?